works and plays together perfectly. Note 7, Gear Classic. Recipe for Success, proudly brought to you by Samsung.
Welcome to Recipe for Success. Now, we all know how difficult it is to find a job these days, let alone that dream job. Now, this show provides the opportunity to a young student chef to do just that, to find their dream job. Every week, a student must cook a dish for one of South Africa's top chefs. And if they're good enough, they walk away with a job offer. Now, they've got to impress the chef with their preparation, cooking skills, and presentation to get this job. So it's all up to them. I'll also be chatting to some of South Africa's leading entrepreneurs to find out more about their food and wine preferences, but to also get their recipe for success. But then there's still the viewers' competition. But let's get straight down to business. This week's student is from Boksburg.
Hi, I'm Tyron. At the age of 14 years old, I moved to Canada with my mom, stepdad, brother and sister. At the age of 20, I moved back to South Africa to study sound engineering. At this time, my sister was struggling with an eating disorder. At that point, I was trying to figure out a way, what can I do to get my sister to eat, you know? And then I decided to start cooking dishes from all around the world, you know, make it fun, you know? And I started cooking and she started eating and it just became fun. And through this experience of cooking, I realized, hey, why not become a chef? You know, I enjoy it. I'm finishing up my studies this year. Once I'm done, I'd like to get as much experience as I possibly can to hopefully one day become an executive chef at a hotel or restaurant. I'm really honored to be on the show. I'm really looking forward to cooking for a celebrity chef. At the same time, really, really nervous. Exciting as well. I'm looking forward to the honest criticism, constructive criticism. And hopefully through this experience I get a job offer that I'm able to perform, I'm able to succeed and do what is needed for this job offer. Yeah, really, really excited and can't wait to get going.
Tyron was a student chef of mine for the last year. He's a young, very dynamic individual. He's got a very good energy about him and he's not scared to explore new ways of doing things in the kitchen. And I think those are very important characteristics to have as a young chef in today's industry. And I wish him all the best for the show forward.
Hey, Tyron.
Hi, chef.
How you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Good, man. It looks like you've got all your stuff ready. Looks like quite a complicated dish, a lot of ingredients.
Yes, a lot of ingredients. Nervous, excited.
Is it something, I'm sure it's something that you've done plenty of times.
Yes, I've done it a few times. I've tried different elements today, so hopefully it works out.
Great. I mean, that's a good thing, the fact that you've played with it a little bit before. You know what the end result's going to be like, because you're going to have to impress Chef Michael Broughton of Terroir. I mean, the guy's a legend in the industry. He's got very high standards, so, you know, this is a unique opportunity to impress him. But I'm rooting for you. I believe you can do it. Let's go have a look at where you might be working after today's episode.
Okay, thank you.
The refined and relaxing Terroir restaurant is set under ancient oaks with a view over to Zalza Golf Course. The serene atmosphere is ideal for the enjoyment of fine food and excellent wine. The unpretentious ambience and dressed-down decor reflect Chef Michael Broughton's rigorously disciplined approach to food. Ranked at number 8 by Eat Out, Terroir's chalkboard menu of boldly flavored food is grounded in classic French cooking techniques, combined with locally sourced produce. Michael is constantly on the lookout for exceptional ingredients, all of which are essential for his signature, deceptively simple style of cooking, characterized by intense depth of flavor and classic combinations on the plate. Although simple, their meals speak to the passion of the team as a whole. The team in the kitchen works hard to produce up to 95 servings per day. Nothing short of excellence will suffice for this hands-on team that does whatever it takes to deliver the absolute best to their diners.
Michael?
Hi, Ruben.
Good. Thanks for joining us, man.
Pleasure.
I appreciate
Good to
it.
see you.
I know you're a very busy guy.
Good to see you.
Listen, this is Tyron.
Hi, Sharon. Hi.
Chef
How are you?
Michael.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Chef.
So Tyron is here today to impress you with his dish. It's not up to me today. I'm just going to be observing. You know, it's quite a tough task to do it here in front of us, but I'm sure he's up to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, take it away. It's all up to you today.
What are you cooking, Darren?
Today I'm going to be cooking you a risotto with king clip, lobster bisque, which I'm going to hopefully successfully turn into a mousse, lobster caviar balls, and that's it.
Sounds complicated. How long is this going to take you?
It's going to take about 3 to 4 hours.
Okay, well, do you want to get going? Should we get
Yes,
started?
chef. Let's do this.
Okay.
Good
Thank
luck.
you. Thank you. As soon as it was time to go, I was, really nervous, really scary. To start off my recipe, I took the chicken bones, added them to the oven at roughly 180 degrees, just to get the bones nice and roasted so that I could get a lot of that flavor out of the bones. After removing the chicken bones from the oven, I added them to the pot, along with carrots, and then some celery, and then some onions. After that, I added some garlic. To begin my lobster bisque, I cleaned my lobsters. I added to the oven at about 180 degrees. Once I'm done roasting my lobsters, I take them out the oven, add it to the pot. I add tomato paste. Once this is done, I cook all the ingredients together for a while.
Do you normally pour it now?
I just put a little bit for now, just to kind of, so that the mirepoix can cook in the wine a
You
little
don't
bit.
caramelize it. You don't do that.
As in...
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
asking you.
Yeah,
It's
so-
your thing. So
So caramelize everything first. Well, the way that I think is if I put the wine in, then everything will kind of absorb it, so that individually that's kind of got the wine flavor a little bit inside. It's kind of how I think it.
It's the wrong thought, but we'll...
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
chef.
it's okay. We'll taste it. It's all in the taste.
Yes, chef. So I add a bit of water, bring it to a boil. Once it's boiled for a bit, I reduce it down to a simmer. Once the liquid from the lobster bisque had reduced and I was happy with the flavor, I proceeded to blitz all the shells and everything together until it was really, really fine, and I put it through a chinois. It's really important to strain your bisque really carefully and make sure that there are no shells. I take 250 mils of lobster bisque, add it to my pan, add my agar-agar. I then add my bisque into a jug so it's easier to pour into a squeegee bottle. I then move on to my risotto. Instead of adding butter to my pot while preparing my risotto, I added oil, which is basically a no-no when it comes to risotto. At this point, the mistake had already been made. I had to just live with it and pray and hope that it would work out. The meat that I had taken out of the lobsters earlier on are now cooked in a pan with a bit of oil, added that to my risotto to finish it off with a bit of parmesan. All my components of the dish are coming together. I'm really nervous. I really hope this works out, and I can't wait for the chefs to try it.
The world's most lifelike picture, SUHD TV. Recipe for Success, proudly brought to you by Samsung. Simply add items during wash. Add wash. Recipe for Success, proudly brought to you by Samsung.
The lobster caviar was quite tricky in the sense that you really have to get your measurements correct with the agar. I'm thinking my measurements of the agar were a bit off, maybe a bit too much, as it didn't really set as I would have liked it to. I then take my squeegee bottle, drip my bisque into the oil that I had cooled in the beginning of my cook, and the caviar I'll use for my plating later on. Now I move on to my lobster mousse. I take 3 eggs, separate the egg yolks from the egg whites. I proceed to whisk my egg whites to a stiff point. I took my egg whites and my cream and folded it together. I then took about 150 mils of bisque, added my 2 egg yolks to the bisque. After I had cooked my egg yolks into the bisque very carefully, I then proceed to add my gelatine, give that a rapid whisk. Once this stage is complete, I then add my bisque to my cream and egg whites. I fold all these ingredients together very carefully. Once this is complete, I add it to a mold, add it to the fridge to set. I melted about 2 tablespoons of butter in a pan. I let the thyme and the butter infuse together. I then added my king clip, tossed some butter over the king clip, then I added the king clip to the oven, cooked it for about 7 to 8 minutes. I moved on to my prawns. I wanted to flambe my prawns. I used a little brandy just to give it that extra sweet taste. Chef, I'm finished.
Great, Taran. Quite a lot of work that went into that dish. Eh?
Absolutely.
Hey, Michael, how do you think it did?
A lot of work to do. I think too much. I think it was a little bit too slow.
Yes.
But let's see. Let's see how it looks on the plate and see. We'll take it from there.
Okay, Taran, you can start preparation for plating. And while you do that, last week I had a chat with Justine Drake, the food editor of Fresh Living magazine, to find out more about her recipe for success. So good to see you again.
Thanks for having me, darling.
I know you're such a busy woman, you know, so many
Girl
things
must
going
try,
on.
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I suppose it's just a life choice. People say you're very, very busy. I say, am I? You know? Yeah, it feels quite normal, I suppose.
How did it all start for you?
Darling, it was so long ago, I can't remember now. I'm teasing you. I think well, I don't think, I did grow up in a family nobody was professionally interested in food, but completely adored food. And so I've sort of been cooking and eating at restaurants since I could stand. But in those days, we're talking about back in the dark ages, you know, there wasn't a career in food that was like we look at it now. Basically, you could be a chef, or a caterer, or a food technologist. And I didn't, you know, that sort of teenage thing. I thought, oh, if I'm a chef or a caterer, I'll get fat. I can't possibly. So I studied marketing. And then sort of my sister had been in magazines, and I sort of went into magazines, not really necessarily intending to get into food.
A little bit about, you've got 2 kids at home, do you still have the energy to cook at home and cook for them? And what do you guys like to eat and what do you like to drink?
I'm a Sauvignon Blanc girl, although this is very nice red. I'm a good Sauvignon Blanc girl. We entertain a lot very, very casually, with lots of children and lots of brides and lots of slow-cooked food, so it's very informal. I don't, to be honest, cook as much as I used to. I just have pretty long days and homework and whatever. So, I mean, I cook for them for sure, and we all eat quite healthily. But I do tend to cook more now on weekends. A couple of years ago, I'd cook every single night. You know, we have a lot more spaghetti bolognese than I'd like to admit. But yeah, a family meal is still pretty important to us, and a glass of Sauvignon Blanc is what separates day from night.
And then I got to ask, what is your recipe for success?
Whew, you know what? Just keep it real. Keep it really real. Just don't forget who you are and who they are. And at the end of the day, if you can have fun, if you can really have fun, then all the people who work for you and all the people who are receiving what you do will feel that fun, and there will be an engagement that will spontaneously sort of be created. And hopefully that's sustainable.
Great. Now, I know you very well, and I know you always keep it real, so thanks for that. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
And really great to catch up with you again.
It was wonderful. Thanks for having me. I'm honoured.
I always enjoy spending time with Justine. She's such a bubbly person. Okay, Taran, you can start plating, and then we'll see you at final presentation. Good luck, eh?
Thank you, Chef. So yeah, my plating was, I had a vision of what I wanted to do with the plating, and I'm quite happy with where I went. There's a few things that I'm quite nervous about as I'm putting down the mousse. A little bit nervous that it might melt and might create a bit of a river around my food, but I hope that with my presentation everything will just flow in, even if it does do that. And hopefully the chefs are a little bit understanding to that.
You won't believe what you can make in a microwave. Hot Blast. Recipe for success. proudly brought to you by Samsung. Finally, a fridge you can personalize. Top Mount Freezer. Recipe for success, proudly brought to you by Samsung.
So just before I unveiled my food to the chefs, I'm really nervous, you know. These guys are gonna taste my food, man. I'm so nervous, but I'm looking forward to it, and then let's get this done. So chefs, I had a really good time up there. It was really nerve-wracking. I hope I've done enough. I've done my best, and I'd really like to thank you guys for the opportunity and coming down here.
Perfect.
Thank you. So today I have for you a lobster mousse on the side and prawns that are sauteed in a bit of brandy and lemon juice, and king clip. Then I've got lobster caviar as well, and my risotto is with the meat that I used from the lobster. Meat's in the risotto as well. Yeah.
So you made a stock from the lobster into the
Yes,
risotto?
chef. Yes.
All seafood.
All seafood.
Okay. That's obviously the main course, huh?
Yes, chef.
How do you come up with, you know, all the elements to the dish? Is it you know, all the little extra elements, and that, does it add
Caviar.
different? Yeah, like the caviar, the mousse.
Do you think it adds something to the... Do you think those little things add value to the dish?
I would hope so, because I think that the caviar balls will kind of give a sharp taste within the risotto as well. So if the mousse doesn't pull through the bisque, I'm hoping that the caviar balls will do that.
Do you still think that they're worth the risk in terms of you've got a mousse that's not really friendly with heat, and you've got the caviar also not really friendly with heat?
Yes.
Do you think that's worth the risk?
Presentation-wise, I wouldn't say no, but if the flavor is there and it is a wow factor, I would go back to the drawing board and try and figure out how could I make this a better mousse that it holds structure and that it sits there. But like you said, with the heat, that's nothing can really be done.
And colour? What do you think about the colour?
I'm happy with the color. I'm happy with the you know, microgreens, bring it out a bit. I didn't really want to add any vegetables or anything like that. I wanted to keep it.
Why not? Any reason?
No real reason. I just really wanted to keep it seafood. That's it, you know.
Okay. Well, let's taste it, eh, Michael? What do you think?
Chefs are tasting my food. I'm freaking out. They're not saying anything, not really. But I don't know if this is a good thing or not. I'm just really crossing my fingers and hoping that it's not a prawn that's got like a shell or something on it, or something, the fish is not cooked in the middle, or something that's really, really a bad mistake for a chef.
Crayfish is done well. I thought it would be a little bit overdone. I thought he may have put it in the pan into the risotto a bit early, but...
Yeah, I also thought it was in there a little bit too long, but it's actually quite nice. Talk about the wine that you decided to pair with your dish.
I chose the Kleiner Seltzer, the Chenin Blanc. I chose the white wine with the fish. It's commonly, white wine goes really good with fish. Yeah.
That's a fair pairing, yeah.
You're the risotto expert.
I think it was a good try.
Yeah.
It was a good try. I think I would have said the colours are a bit sort of too similar.
Yes.
I would have cooked the king clip a little less.
Okay.
Cooked the risotto a little bit more. Flavours are good. I like the mousse. The mousse comes through very nicely with the lobster flavour. I can pick up the brandy on the prawns, which is great. I didn't get to taste the caviar. Sorry for that. And I think they're a bit too softer.
Yes. Yeah.
I would have had to go a little bit more egg on maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
I only think the negative would be the amount of time that it took to actually cook, prepare. I always say part of the interview that I should be giving people that apply at Terroir would be to make a good mash and make me a scrambled egg or an omelette. And you know, and most kids can't do that when they're fresh out of college. They can't do that. So what we're saying is, you know, to cook the basics well, and the rest all comes from there. And that's pretty much what we do at Terroir. You know, we're about doing the basics extremely well. Okay, all right. So we'll talk a bit later.
Okay. Thank you, Chef.
Yeah, it's a
Thank you,
pleasure.
Chef.
Well done.
Thank
Good
you.
effort.
Thank
Okay, Taryn. I think Michael's going to take a little bit of time to think about whether he wants to allow you in his kitchen or not. I know you're anxious about that, but you're going to have to wait a little bit longer.
Okay.
It's now competition time.
There are almost 250,000 Rand in prizes to be won in our Recipe for Success viewer competition, which includes a full lifestyle solution worth over 100,000 Rand from Samsung, comprising of a Galaxy S7 Edge smartphone, a Galaxy Tab S2 tablet, a color laser multi-function printer, a 55-inch curved SU HD TV, a water wall dishwasher, a top-mount freezer, and a hot blast convection microwave oven. From Capsicum, a City and Guilds Diploma Bursary in Food Preparation. From Fine and Fabulous Neo Group SA, Jean de Bois Lecoil 24-piece French cutlery set. From Grand Cru Glassware, 8 Riedel varietal specific glasses. And from Mervyn Gurr Ceramics, a handmade crockery set for 4. Only one lucky viewer will win all of these prizes. You can enter via SMS or on our website. To qualify for the grand prize, you need to correctly answer one of our viewers' competition questions. The more you enter, the better your chances. The competition closes on Sunday, the 4th of December at midnight, and the winner will be announced right after the last episode on the 6th of December, 2016. For more information and terms and conditions, please visit www.recipeforsuccess.tv. This week's question is, what was Justine Drake's recipe for success? Was it A, eat an apple every day? B, keep it real and have fun? C, always wear polka dots on Fridays? Please SMS Samsung followed by your answer A, B or C to 41703 or enter on our website www.recipeforsuccess.tv.
So, Michael, have you made up your mind? Do you think old Taryn can come and work in your kitchen?
You know, I always say we've had so many people coming through our kitchen in all the years, and there's one or two key characteristics I think that I always look for. And one of them is that your heart has got to be in the right place. You know, and if you can just listen and understand and have the will to want to do it and don't have any other any other issues clouding the will to work. And as you know, this is an industry without glamour. There's no glamour in this industry. It's really just about hard work. And if your heart's in the right place, I think it's all good and fair. And I think your heart's in the right place. So I think you are able to learn more. I would assume that if you were under the right instruction, you would be able to do well.
Absolutely.
So that means he's got the job.
I would say so.
Thank you, Chef.
Great, Taryn. I think you've grabbed the opportunity and you've done good, so well done.
Thank you, Chef.
And, you know, enjoy it. You're going to learn so much at Terroir.
Thank you so much, Chef.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Chef.
Pleasure. Well done.
Michael, thanks, man. Thanks for making time again.
It's a pleasure.
It's
Nice
really
to see you
awesome
again.
to see you again.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Thanks for watching. See you next week.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Chef Ruben, Chef Michael, and Samsung for bringing me out here. I've had a really good time with this adventure, and I'm really looking forward to what the future holds.
Everything you need to succeed. Samsung. Business in a box. Recipe for Success. Proudly brought to you by Samsung.